Welcome, everybody, to 8192 The Truth. My name is Lad Supernon. We are live at Fox Sports Studio in downtown Kansas City. Let's have some fun. It is my pleasure to introduce to you my dad, Joel, the Godfather Supernon, and his co-host, Kevin, Brother Sinir.
What's up, Brother Sin? How you doing?
What's up, Godfather?
All right,
I
listen.
love it.
Thank you, Lad. Guys, what we're doing today is, we're doing something completely different. We're doing a live show, podcast, audio cast, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, we are in downtown Kansas City at Fox Sports Studios Monday at 9:30 in the morning shooting a live show. Today, we're going to introduce you to what it's all about. What's 8192 about? What's the truth about? We're going to talk about Conor Mayweather. We're going to talk about UFC 214. We're going to talk about Brother Sin, the Brother Sin Challenge, my next adventure, and we're going to talk about the Major League Baseball standings. And who got his 3,000 hit yesterday, lad?
Adrian Beltre.
Yeah, 31st guy ever to get 3,000 hits, and he did it really quiet, and we're going to talk about that. Before we get into that, every week we're going to start the show with the Star of the Week. Now, this is my show. This is my son. The people that know me know our story and Lad's battle through the autism spectrum. Lad's the star of this week. Next week, it's Jack Strong. Jack Strong's going to be on next week. After that, you need to get a hold of Brother Sin, put your nominee in for that special hero in your life that makes you want to be better. And that'll be the star of the show. So I got the first 2 weeks panned. But, hey, can you get Lad jumping off the Sears Tower, Jesse? So Lad is the star of the week, not because he has battled through the autism spectrum, not because as well as he's doing and everything, he's still got to fight every day. He is the star of the week because 2 weeks ago, he jumped off the Sears Tower. We call it the Sears Tower. It's the stratosphere. Not once, but twice. Lad, what was that like?
It was extremely scary at first. This is my second time doing it. I was so calm, cool, and collected because I was almost too tired to be scared. We had a really good day. We already jumped off once. We watched the pay-per-view. There was a pay-per-view that night in Vegas. It was really cool. I've always wanted to do it at night. I've been wanting to do it since I was 8 or 9 years old. This is really cool. I like this video the best is because I was so calm, cool, and collected. And you'll see it right here.
The reason he was so calm, cool, collected is it's, I think, midnight after we flew from Kansas City to Vegas at 4:30 in the morning. He jumped off once already. We went to the UFC fights with Brother Sin, and now he's getting ready to jump. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, go. All right, Chael. Know you light him.
I love that. There we go. Lad Christopher Supernaw, star of the week for his battle with autism, but more importantly, jumping off the Sears Tower twice.
Thank you.
I love you, son. I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay.
All right, now let's get into it. A little bit about me and who I am. Like I said, my name's Joel Supernaw. They call me the Godfather. I actually call myself the Godfather quite a bit, and the reason that is, there's two reasons. Is A, when you get a cool nickname, you got to steer into it. You got to keep it. And the second thing is, it never, ever gets old when somebody asks, what's your name? And I say, I'm the Godfather, baby. It never, ever gets old. So who we are, what this show's about, what we're doing is, we're doing something completely different. Jason Orr with Fox Sports Studios, the universe brought us together, and we are doing something live. We got my co-host, Brother Sin, back here. We're going to have video and audio. There'll be a time where we have a Facebook Live up there, and you're going to be able to interact. It's going to be a very fan-friendly show. The truth is, can you get Fat Me up there? Can you get Fat Me in the background? Okay, 90 days ago, 93 days ago, that was me. Okay, I had $11 in my pocket, and this guy up here, Brother Sin, said, you know what? You're all right, man. We wanted to be here. We wanted to be doing something here. We wanted to get fit. I wanted to get healthy. I wanted to do a lot of things, and I only had a couple things going on. I had desire, knowledge, willpower, and I had this guy in my ear, actually via text, letting me know that when the chips were down, when I had no reason to be confident about something successful, this guy, Brother Sin, Kevin Sinier, who we're going to talk about in a minute, he believed in me. He believed in me, and I want to thank you for that, brother, to start the show.
Absolutely, brother.
The truth is about positivity. The truth is about you can do anything that you set your mind to. Can we get rid of Fat Joel and get to Bagger Vance? All right, cool. So a great movie, one of the greatest movies, sports movies, kind of sci-fi movie, is The Legend of Bagger Vance. And if you haven't watched that movie, please go watch it. There's a point in this scene here where Bagger's talking to Jason Bourne, Juna, and he's talking about the perfect swing. He's talking about you've got a lot of choices. You have a lot of choices to choose from. You can hook the ball. You can hit it to the left. You can hit it to the right. You can hit it all over the place. Or you can have that perfect swing. It's all up to you. Where that comes into play is that I've been all of those things. I've been a drunk. I've been a scholar. I've been a dummy. I've been a dunce. I've been a leader. I've been a guy that motivated people. I've been a guy that set the bar high and challenged myself. The truth is, my son is the most important thing in my life. And it's a very unique situation that we are in. You know, the father-son relationship everybody has, but the thing that me and Ladd are at is some of my closest friends are superstars. You know, Randy Couture, Chael Sonnen, some people that came through my old car dealership in Portland, Oregon. They're superstars. They're up here. And Ladd tries to make me better or bigger than I ever was before. The truth is, I was a good athlete. I was never great. The truth is, I couldn't stay focused and structured long enough to be the best me possible. But the bigger part of this thing is, and the core of this show is, the best part of my life is in front of me, not behind me. I am 51 years old. I weighed 290 pounds 93 days ago. I wanted to get to 198 pounds today. I made it to 205. It's not the same 205 it was 10 years ago. It's not the same 205 it was 5 years ago. But I'm as healthy as I've ever been. I'm as healthy as I've ever been. And this is not the end of my journey. It's the start of something. Brother Sin had my back, and we're going to do something very, very unique and special here. Brother Sin is under the belief that we need to get big stars on this show to grow. That's his job. My belief is if I have the best show out there with Brother Jason Orr, Brother Royce, Brother Jesse in downtown Kansas City at Phosphor Studios, they will come, just like the Field of Dreams. What do you think about that, Brother Sin?
I like it.
There you go, a man of few words. So anyway, the truth's about change. The truth is about being positive. 93 days ago, I was already on the right mental path to get to where I am now, to get to where I'm going. But the one thing that I changed is I started focusing primarily on myself. I made myself the primary investment. I've spent a lifetime making other people or other things my primary investment. And when I did that, the universe started opening up to me. When I did that, it started opening up to me. My sister helped me out. Brother Sin gave me confidence and support. I always have Lad to look up to. But once I said, it's me that can change the world, my world, it started to change. That's what the truth is about. It's about being positive as opposed to being negative. This show is about positivity. And the cool thing about that, Sin, is I know the landscape. And the landscape of podcasts, video shows, ESPN, all of it, 90% of it is everybody is beating today's dummy up. Whoever just beat up their wife, whoever just got arrested for a DUI, whatever's hot out there, that's number one. And all of the great things are number two, and that's not what we're going to be about. When I can't come up here and talk about people like Lad Supernaw or Jack Cash Rytel, I can't talk about Adrian Beltre, Lad? Yeah. Adrian Beltre, who just 31st person ever. We're going to talk about the UFC, but when I can't talk about positive things in sport and in life, I'll quit coming up here. I will quit coming up here, but that'll never happen. The one thing that I've learned a lot over the past couple years being involved in a podcast, in the podcast world, is time. Time. A great many of you are using this hour and 10 minutes, however long it takes, to fill up a point in your day. And once I learned that, people got back to me and they're like, hey man, I love hearing you talk. I love the things that you talk about. I love your personality. It gets me through today. It gets me through the day. When me and Brother Sin started talking about doing this thing, I wanted something up here. And I wanted to come out and I wanted to perform. I wanted to give you what you're giving me, and that's time. And the universe brought me here. I keep saying, I had $11 93 days ago. $11 93 days ago. Now, Brother Sin's a rich and successful man. He's got his job. I've got my job. Okay? Brother Sin's not paying for this. The Godfather is. It cost me more I got these cue cards just right off the stage so I can keep myself focused. You guys that know me know that's a hard thing to do. The cue cards cost more than I had 93 days ago. I changed my life in the last 93 days, and it's just the start. What we're going to do is we're going to come up here, we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to challenge ourselves. I'm 51 years old, baby, but I ain't done. And I might have been a dummy and a drunk before, but like Connor told Floyd, not anymore. So that is the core of what the truth is. That's the core. I wanted to talk about the truth first. The truth's a cool name. The reason we have 8192 in front of it is because somebody already has the truth. You know, somebody already has the truth, so we had to throw 8192 in front of it. 8192 looks cool on a shirt. People, you know, I'll tell you the story about 8192. About a year and a half ago, I was talking to my buddy Reese. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Reese right now. My buddy Reese followed his stars, and it took him to Maryland to a beautiful gal, and he's out there struggling, and he's fighting, and he just went through a situation that I've watched my ex go through many, many, many times. And he needed the job that he went and applied for. He needed it. He wanted it, and they told him, they led him to believe that he was going to get that job. I knew right away when they missed the first deadline, he wasn't going to get that job. And the reason I knew that was because I watched my ex go through the same process over and over and over and over again on every job that she didn't get. Brother Reese didn't get that job. Brother Reese will get a job. But more importantly, hey man, listen. If you are the one on the button on hiring somebody and you led them to believe that they may have the job, don't run them out. Don't string them out because they believe they're going to get that job, man. Cut the hook. Get done with it. Get over with it because it's a lot of pain. I've watched my ex-wife Jennifer go through it for years and years and years. I just watched Reed's experience. I've been through it similar, but Brother Reese, keep your head up. Anyway, me and Brother Reese were talking. He had a business development, and it went sideways on him. His partner had done him wrong, had done him dirty. So I said, hey, let's go see him. And Reese was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, I mean, we've got to, let's go see him. Now, I wasn't saying let's go beat him up or anything, but Reese is like, oh, yeah, no, you're crazy. We're not going to go see him. So I ended up having a phone conversation with a buddy of mine, telling him what happened, and I said the words, I said, let's go see him like it's 81 to 92. 81 to 92 kind of grew from there. 81 to 92 was when I was young, when things were different. And through the different internet and through different sources, 81 to 92 kind of gained some steam. So I used to have a shirt, it was 81 to 92 with the cross in the middle of it, and the original shirt, because I didn't know what 81 to 92 mean. It was four numbers and people were starting to like it. I put a John Wayne logo on the back that said, I won't be wronged, I won't be insulted, and I won't be laid a hand on. Well, truth be told, between the years 81 and 92, had you worn that t-shirt out in public, you were going to fight somebody. At least at the 3K, at least in Kankakee, Illinois, where I come up at. Between 81 and 92, if you had that shirt on, you were going to fight. And I didn't want it to be a bully thing. You know, it was just something that we were kind of going through, how to market 81 to 92. It was funny. So anyway, I started wearing that shirt. People asking me all the time, what's 81 to 92 mean? Do they do that to you too, Sin?
Every day.
Yeah. And then so Super Bowl Sunday this year, a buddy of mine texted me through Facebook, and he said, what does that mean? And I said, man up, kick ass, don't be a bully, don't tolerate bullies, put your phone down, pick your kid up, and buy your old lady some flowers. And I went back to watching the Super Bowl, and like 3 seconds later, I was like, that's really cool. So we put that on the back of a shirt, and now we've changed man up to man up, kick ass to man up, stand strong. I want to talk a little bit about the words on the back of that shirt and how it relates to this show and kind of the tone of this show and the tone of who I am and who I want to be. If you go down the line on every one of those things, and again, 81 to 92 doesn't mean anything, it's four numbers. But a lot of people all over this world use it to kind of pick themselves up in the morning. And that's pretty cool to me. But man up. Man up. That's what we did. That's what we do every single day. We get up and we go about our business. I've lived two lives, and many of you have too. Brother Sin, I don't know if you've lived two or just one. One of my life is with the cell phone and all of the interaction that goes on today, and the other one is without that. 81 to 92 was without that. So it is a lot different, man. It is a lot different. And when you go through that shirt, there's nothing wrong with anything about it. First thing, don't be a bully in anything that you do. Pushing somebody and making them scared physically is only one way to be a bully. Tearing people up behind their back, talking about people on the different sides of the internet, and generally being a bully is what that means. Man, don't be a bully. I've been a bully, and today I don't want to be a bully. Don't tolerate bullies. Don't tolerate bullies. Does that mean you go punch your bully in the face? No, it does not. It does not. Because then you give your bully power. How do you get rid of a bully? You give them the respect that they deserve, which is nothing. Not a thought, not a look, not a wink, and not a consideration. You take them out of your life. Put your phone down. Now, this is a big one. This is a big one. Put your phone down. Shut your phone off. We quit living life, people. We quit living life. I was just in Las Vegas. You seen Lad jump off the Sears Tower. I was just in Las Vegas. I felt so good. I got, I'm feeling good. I'm losing this weight. I'm feeling great. I go down to the pool. And I'm me, I'm boisterous. I'm having a good time, this, that, and other. People are looking at me like they're crazy because they're stuck inside their phone. When you used to go to Vegas, you used to meet people, you used to connect with them, you would share stories, and now you bring all of your Facebook people and everybody on text with you, you bring them to Vegas. Put that phone down. Your kids, go live with them. Go experience something with them. Don't let anybody else raise your kids. Put your phone down. Put their phone down. Pick your kid up. You're not spending time with your kid. You're letting somebody else raise your kid. You're letting a phone and a computer raise your children. I've been a lot of things. I've been good, I've been bad. I'm not happy with everything I've done. I'm not proud of everything I've done. But one thing I've done that I am proud of is me and that boy over there experience life together. And it's my hope that we're going to continue to do that. Put your phone down, pick your kid up, and last but not least, and they love this one the most, Brother Sin, buy your old lady some flowers. Okay? Women love that 8192 shirt the most. Women love that shirt the most. And all it means is there's a woman that likes that shirt that understands what it's about. It's about being kind. That is what 81 to 92 is about. I had to use it because I had to put it in front of the truth. The truth is about the positivity that is going on in this world around us today and where you are going. Don't look for what you did last week. Look for what you're doing tomorrow. We're going to talk about some challenges that we're going to come up. But I do want to introduce you to Brother Sin. He's the business side of this thing. Obviously, he's warming up. He's not the personality side of it yet. But he'll get there. He'll get there. It's new. It's new. I want to introduce you to Brother Sin. Then we're going to talk about Connor and Floyd. Okay? Brother Sin, his name's Kevin Sinier, but it looks like Cernier, and it's Sinier. And so I met him through the Facebook interactions, same kind of goals and everything, same kind of circles. And one thing led to another. We went to some of the same events, started texting each other back and forth, realized that, we had a lot of the same interests. Now, Brother Sin is a state champ, wrestling and track, a national champ in track. He is a very, very successful businessman. He owns a big insurance company. He is a boxing coach. He is a nutritionalist. He's a lot of things. But most important, Brother Sin's a good father and he's a good husband. And that's the thing that I respect about him the most. So, Brother Sin, this is when we're going to open it up to you. This is when you're going to shine right now. But the first thing I want to know, and I've never asked you this. 93 days ago, I text you, and I actually text you I had $18 in my pocket. It turns out it was 11. I actually, when we got done going back and forth, it was $11.
Yeah.
From that point on, you have been my inspiration and my support. I want to ask you why.
Why? Because from meeting you, first off, I knew you're good people. You're somebody that wanted to be a better version of yourself. You're good people. In who I am, the coaching, the nutritional counseling, the training, all that kind of stuff, I buy into people that are searching for somewhere where I can get my hands involved and help them. And when you came to me and you talked to me and you brought this idea up, I believed in you. Something about the way you presented it to me, the look that I remember you having in your eyes the first time we met and we started talking, I believed in you. And my time is precious. I've got the wife, I've got the kids, I've got the businesses, all these things that I'm responsible to. And I knew that if I was going to take something else on and get involved, it had to be real. And I knew you are real people. You are good people, you're real people, and I believed in you. I knew from your passion, from your words, from talking to you, we start this journey, you weren't jumping off. You weren't getting off until the journey's over. And I knew that you were somebody I could get behind, and I knew you weren't going to let up. You were in this 100% from the get-go, and that spoke to me because that's who I am, and I knew right away this was going to work.
Yeah, it's crazy that the two people that are important for where I am today. And again, this is a starting point. It's not a finishing point. Is you and my sister Zita, and I can't tell you enough. This big production that we're doing is awesome. And the universe led us here, and the belief that you had in me, it put something on myself that was like, all right, there isn't anybody else on this planet other than, and not, truthfully, if I'm being real, probably not my son. He's seen what I'm doing now the past 40 days since he's been out here. He believes in me, but before that, it was really you and my sister. So what I'd like you to do now, Sin, is tell everybody about our partnerships that we have working and the Brother Sin Challenge.
So the Brother Sin Challenge, we'll start with that. The truth, our show, what we're doing here, it's all about self-improvement. So people being the best possible versions of themselves on a daily basis. So the Brother Sin Challenge, this is going to be something anybody out there who needs that Kickstarter, they need that rejuvenation, something that's going to start to help propel them to the place they want to be. You can challenge me, stay with me 90 minutes on the field of dreams. If you can keep up with Brother Sin physically in this activity, 90 minutes, I'm going to put a cool grand in your pocket.
All right. Now let's talk about that for a second. Now, Willie Nelson, the famous country singer, he owed the IRS, I don't know, $10 million or a ridiculous amount of money. Yep. And they asked Merle Haggard, hey, what do you think about that? And Merle said, well, if the IRS owed Willie $3 million, then Willie's in trouble. But if Willie owes the IRS $3 million, then the IRS is in trouble. My point is, Brother Sin can pay that G, okay? Brother Sin can pay that G. I'm not responsible for the G. The challenge is going to help us grow. The challenge is this. You go out there and promote this show, get 500 likes through Facebook, Twitter, all the different social media sources, and you're going to qualify to take the Brother Sin Challenge. The Brother Sin Challenge, if it's me, and I'm 23 years old, and I'm a young buck kid, I'm dead broke, I remember where I was. If it's me, I'm going to go pick up your G. But My money's on Sin, because this challenge is kind of like horse, but torture. Field of Dreams, he can bring whatever he wants on that Field of Dreams. Okay? So if you can't deadlift a bunch of weight while you're doing push-ups and sit-ups and jumping jacks, stay home, Daddy. But listen, the Brother Sin Challenge is not about the young buck kid wanting to come take Sin's $1,000. The Brother Sin Challenge is about you that was Joel 90 days ago, obese, depressed, and miserable. You're on your way to work right now, or you just got home. And you're listening to me talk right now, and I'm getting a message to you that, hey man, you can change your life, and it doesn't take that long. Day in or a day out. You're only a day out from being in the zone. You're only a day out from being out of the zone. The Brother Sin Challenge is for that guy. The Brother Sin Challenge is for motivation, but over the next 90 days, we're going to have Brother Sin on a Field of Dream here in Kansas City. We're going to make a show out of it. We're going to make a show out of it. So instead of him being on Skype, I'll still be cutting it up. I'll still be cutting it up at the studio. He'll be on Skype. We're going to give Brother Jason, we're going to give Jason a whole bunch of new tricks, because he likes them. He likes them, man, because I wasn't even expecting all this, and I know he's got a vision to where we're going. But anyway, in the next 90 days, we're going to do the Brother Sin Challenge with somebody, or a couple times. My next challenge is, can you get that the Tempe, Arizona thing? Oh yeah, let's run it back to the Brother Sin. Let's run it back to Brother Sin. All right, there's Brother Sin on the Field of Dreams. All right, Brother Sin looks good. Brother Sin looks good. Now, all you young buck kids, young buck kids probably aren't listening to me anyway. But Brother Sin looks great there. So on the Field of Dreams, sending this out to the universe, get there. And I tell you what, my money's on Sin, because I've watched him do some things. Okay, I've watched him do some things. So if you like the show, if you like the tone of the show, if you're sick of waking up in the morning and hearing negativity, man, shut off all that noise. Listen to me. Take the Brother Sin Challenge and promote this show. Okay? That's how we're going to grow. I'm going to give you a year. I'm going to be up here once a week for a year, and I believe in 1 year we'll be on UFC Fight Pass, because this is a good message. There isn't anything wrong with this message, and I'm going to do some crazy stuff, and so's he, over this next year, and we're going to continue. Right. We're going to continue to do that. So, can you pump up the Tempe, Arizona? All right. So October 22nd, me and Lad are going to be in Tempe, Arizona. I'm going to be raising money for Crohn's and colitis. It's what the cause is that got my entry into the field. It's going to be a half Ironman. I'm going to shoot for 5 minutes, or 5 hours and 45 minutes, so I can beat Brother Sin's wife, Sister Sin. Her best is 5:45. I did one half Ironman before, about 12 years ago. I will tell that story at some point over the next 90 days. And I think I did it in 8 hours and 4 minutes. So, my bar is up here pretty good. John Kirpus, Mr. Kirpus, you are in charge of raising that $3,000. That's your specialty. In the process, you're going to raise awareness for the show. You're going to raise awareness for Crohn's and colitis. Go to my Facebook and tell me more about Crohn's and colitis. I'm not affected by it. I don't know anything about it. I will learn over the next 90 days. But 90 days from now, the last week before I go to Tempe, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to bite it, and I'm going to show you what I got on under here, because I've lost a cool 85 pounds, but I still got some. It's packed up a different way. It's packed up a different way, but baby, I'm wearing 34s. These are 34s, so it is packed up a different way. I got 34s on. we're going to do the Tempe, I'm going to do the Tempe, Arizona half Ironman. John Kirpus is going to raise money. We're going to do the Brother Sin Challenge. Before we get to Connor and Floyd, you want to talk a little bit about some of our partnerships?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're still growing, obviously, and a lot of this is going to expand and get bigger. But a couple of the sponsors that we partner with now are key, and they're for a reason. So we've got Onnit and we've got Amazon. Onnit, one, because to be athletic, to push yourself, to train, to do what Joel's doing, to losing the weight, to training as hard as it is, there's certain things that you need to take supplement-wise, vitamin-wise, things like that to help your body stay active and that kind of stuff. Onnit is really the only supplement company that either the Godfather or I believe in, because it's clean, it's safe, and it's all natural. It's not one of these companies where they're pumping in all sorts of chemicals in their stuff to make it more effective, to sell better, anything like that. It's clean, it's natural, and hell, Joe Rogan takes it and he's cool. As Godfather said before, Joe Rogan's cool. So this is the company we believe in. And then Amazon. Amazon carries everything that you're going to need for your fitness journey, for your self-improvement, whether it's jump ropes, whether it's supplements, whether it's protein, speed bags, anything that you're going to need to help you get to be the best version of you, you're going to be able to find on Amazon. And we've partnered with them. We've got links on our Facebook page that if you go through our links, it's not going to cost you anything more, nothing like that. It's going to help support the show, which in turn is going to help us grow, is going to help us be able to give back more to you, the fans, as the show gets bigger and we grow and grow into a bigger audience. But those are the two key partnerships we have right now because they're good, because we believe in what they have, and they're very useful for the message and the journey that we're on. So go to our Facebook page. The links are up there. Click in, add them to your toolbar. Anytime you go to Amazon to buy anything, anytime you go to Onnit to look at the great supplements and products they have, go through our link, show your support for the show, and in turn, we're going to give that back to you guys tenfold.
All right, so I want to talk a little bit about Onnit. Now, I cut this promo about, I don't know, a month ago. Me and Lad cut this promo, and I said, hey, I took Onnit because Joe Rogan's cool. Well, Joe Rogan is cool, but I took Onnit because you sent me a box of it, and as I said before, I had $11. Okay? One thing I haven't taken that I'm going to start taking this week is the brain food. What's the brain food called?
Alpha Brain.
Okay, Alpha Brain. Now listen, I've lost a ton of weight. I've been taking Onnit every day, the nutritional, the protein, whatever you got me, I've been taking. I take it 2 or 3 times a day. Do I believe it's helping me? I don't know, but I've lost 85 pounds. But now we're going to put the Alpha Brain to the test. I'm going to start taking Alpha Brain this week. That means, Joe, my show better get a lot better, okay? I'm going to have to get a lot smarter. We're putting Alpha Brain to the test starting this week. So now, let's talk about Connor and Floyd.
Oh, buddy. Oh, what a show this is going to be. This is going to be a spectacle like people have never seen.
All right, so again, this is Brother Sin's first time. He's going to get a lot better, trust me. All right, so check it out. Connor versus Floyd. I want to talk about the hype train. Did you watch the hype train?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, what was your big takeaway from the 4 days that they had out there?
What I took, man, Connor, the spectacle of him, I mean, he's not cowering whatsoever, and we knew that about Connor. He bows down to nobody, but his level of aggressiveness in this is awesome. It's going to sell pay-per-views like no other.
Okay, so my takeaway, hey, good job, Brother Jesse. I forgot to cue you up on that. My takeaway from the hype train, I watched it. Lad really got into it. And basically, it was Connor and Floyd calling each other beaches for 4 days. Okay? There wasn't anything real in there to me. It did get real the fourth day. It got real the fourth day in London when the real Conor stood up there and said, 4 years ago, Conor was fighting for free in front of 50 people. And I knew he was honest about that. Knew he was honest about that. We all got on this Conor train pretty early because he came out with the accent, with the look. But the one thing Conor has done since day one is he's put his goal set on top of the roof. There's a Budweiser commercial out about, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. They're not big enough. Well, I thought about that, and that was before I got with Brother Jason and Phosphor Studios. Okay? I know within 90 days, this room, this auditorium is going to be filled with people. Conor knew he was going to be the world champion. He then experienced it. He then did all of the work that it took to get there, and he made himself who he was at that time. And I could see him looking back and being like, wow, that was an incredible ride. When I got here earlier today and I seen all of the technical things everybody was doing, I could feel that with this journey that we're on. Obviously, I'm not cool, I'm not famous, I'm not rich, but the reality is, man, I've moved mountains in the last 93 days, and I'm going to continue to. My takeaway from this fight, again, and it's mostly Conor. Conor made the fight. Conor said he was going to get the fight. Do I think Conor can win? We'll talk about that in a second. The fact is, Conor is fighting arguably one of the greatest boxers that has ever done the sport. I don't want to hear anything about Floyd ducking anybody, this, that, and the other. I've been watching him for 20 years, and he's fought them all, baby. He's fought them all. So yeah, Conor's not sitting in front of the ring fighting like, Costa Zoo or, lad, who's those warriors? Mickey Ward, Arturo Gatti. He's not fighting like them, but he's not getting hit and he's winning. Lad asked me, Brother Sin, before we get to can Conor win this, Lad asked me, hey, Poppy, is this the biggest boxing match of all time? What is your take on that?
Yes. Yes, it is. It may not be the most competitive boxing match of all time. It's not Ali Frazier 2. It's not the Rumble in the Jungle. But this is the biggest boxing match of all time. I don't care what you say, the purist, that Conor's not a boxer, it's his first fight. This is the biggest boxing match of all time. This fight will have more eyes on it than any boxing match in modern history.
Okay. That's very similar to me and Lad were talking about that exact same point. And that was a great question, Lad, and a great talking point. I disagree with you. I think Mayweather-Pacquiao was a bigger fight. Yeah, did it happen outside of their sport, outside of the time that they should have fought? This doesn't do Tyson Holyfield, Ali Frazier, none of those. Half of the Ali fights to me, in terms of historical meaning as a boxing event. Now, as a money event, yeah, it may be. It may do the most numbers ever in the world, but that does not take away from all of the people that boxed forever to get to a spot that these guys are on top of. Ali, I tell Lad to watch the Ali Frazier Wars. Mickey Ward, Arturo Gatti, go watch those fights. Leonard, Hearns, Duran, Hagler, Hearns. All those fights, to me, in my life, bigger. Holmes, Cooney, bigger. Biggest spectacle, yes. Biggest event, yes. Do I think Conor can win this fight? Do you think Conor can win this fight?
No, I do not. He does not have the ability to outbox Floyd Mayweather. It's not going to happen. And Floyd is the best defensive fighter we've ever seen. Conor may have the one-punch power, but the odds of him connecting on that with Floyd Mayweather is so razor thin. I don't see him winning that fight or having a chance to win.
See, Brother Sin's getting better already. Brother Sin's getting better already. Now, you know, the odds are only like, what's he, plus 350?
Yeah, they're shrinking daily. It's
okay.
amazing.
Well, then I know you're a gambler, man. If you believe he doesn't have a choice, are you loading up?
Yes.
Even on a bad bet, even when you have to bet $70 to win 30?
Yes.
You are going to load up. Okay. I believe Conor can win. And the reason I believe Conor can win is because Conor believes he can win. Conor believes he can win. I'm not going to go into, is he going to win? Doesn't matter. Can he win? Absolutely, 100%. And it's because he believes in himself. He believes in himself. Once I start watching the hype train, we might come back here, 30 days from now. I mean, it's going to be on top of us. It's in 4 weeks.
26 days.
It's in 4 weeks. So, I believe he can win because he believes he can win. The most powerful thing that you have in this life is self-belief. My son is autistic. He's beaten autism, but he's still autistic. We're going to talk about that at some point. And I know how he's done it, and he's done it because he believed in himself and he wanted something so bad.
Regardless of the outcome, Conor's already won. 4 years ago, he's on welfare, as you said. He's on welfare, collecting $180 a week. Regardless if he wins or loses, he's going to walk away with this at $100 million because he believed. He's already won. That's the dream every human being, every American should look to. Whether you like his language, you don't like it, that's the man to look to. 4 years ago, he's on welfare. He's going to walk away with $100 million.
Yep.
He's already won.
Look at how much better Brother Sin's getting. I knew it. See, he never questioned me when I had $11 in my pocket, and I never questioned him. All right. Conor can win that fight. Conor is a big winner. I love that takeaway. Conor, again, he's the world right now. He's everybody pounding their chest, saying, look at me, how great I am, how awesome I am. I'm watching too. This show is not about that. This show is about Conor 4 years ago. This show is about that. What I want to do now is I want to bring up Ladd. Ladd, can you get up here without tearing down the whole set? Make sure, Brother Jason, make sure he doesn't tear the set up. All right. He's made it that far. All right. Are we good here? Are we good here? All right. Now we're going to talk about, Brother Sin, we're going to get into UFC 214 now.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, yeah, Brother Jesse, because we got Hoist Gracie and Jesse the Body Ventura up top. Brother Jesse, there we go. All right. So Ladd, real quick, I want you to run down your takeaways from UFC 214.
Okay. So first we're going to start off with the main event.
Hey, this is my show.
Okay.
Okay? Let's do this. What are your takeaways from the show? Run through it. You got 3 minutes. Go. Knock them dead.
Okay. Daniel Cormier versus John Jones, one of the biggest rivalries in UFC history.
Hey, save your main event for last. Because if you talk about your main event right now, they won't listen to you. Start at the beginning.
Okay. So we're going to start off with the prelims. Brian Ortega versus that Renato Macchiano guy. That was a great fight. That one fight of the night. Ortega submitted him. I think it's his 4th consecutive third-round finish, which is a really interesting stat in my opinion. Good for Ortega. Jason Knight versus Ricardo Lamas. I was really high on Jason Knight for quite a bit, but Ricardo Lamas, he's been a contender in the featherweight division for 5 years. He fought for the title over 5 years. And Lamas looked great that fight. He fought a young up-and-comer, and he, in my opinion, dominated him and stopped him by knockout. Renan Barão versus Aljamain Sterling. Sterling looked great in the 2nd and 3rd rounds. Renan has really never been the same since TJ beat him twice, in my opinion. Good for Sterling. Now the main card. I was shocked when that Volkan Oezdemir guy beat Jimmy Manuwa in less than a minute. Manuwa's been the Anthony Johnson since Rumble retired. And Oezdemir stopped him in 42 seconds. And in my opinion, he's one of the contenders for the title, and I think Jones and Gustafsson need to fight, and Cormier and...
Don't steal my thunder. Don't steal my thunder. Go on, go on.
Stop. Okay. Okay. As I was saying, Robbie and Cowboy, that was a great fight. Good for Robbie. I'm glad he came back and won after a year off. Yeah, that was a really good fight. Robbie came out early in the 1st round. Donald came back in the 2nd, and Robbie stole it in the 3rd. Good for him. Cyborg and Evinger. I knew Evinger was going to be tough, but she was just overmatched. I think the only person that could beat Cyborg right now is Holly Holm, because she has the perfect countering style to beat her, in my opinion. And Holly's never backed down from anyone. I know people are all booing about the T. Wood-Maya fight. The last 2 fights that he's had since the Robbie fight, T. Wood's fought specialists in the game. To beat Thompson and Maya, who are pure specialists in what they do, is amazing. Just beating them. And I know he's not the most exciting fighter, but if he was trying to knock him out like he was doing, I think he landed the fewest strikes in a welterweight fight. If he tries to be aggressive and not like what he's doing, he would lose that fight by submission. And I think, in my opinion, T. Wood had the perfect game plan. Maya was like 0 for 25 in his takedowns, and he fought the perfect fight. Now finally, one of the biggest rivalries in UFC history, Daniel Cormier versus John Jones. In my opinion, Cormier was winning that fight, because we know we all want Cormier to win. I was happy for John that he won. He's been through quite a lot in his personal life, and people want to blame it on his mistakes. But good for him. I'm glad he came back. Most guys that go through this road, you look at Mike Tyson, you look at a lot of other guys that fought in the sport, Chuck, Liddell, that go out and do these mistakes like that, and they never come back the same. And Jones, in my opinion, looks spectacular. He caught him with that beautiful head kick. No one would have survived that kick. That was all shin. He took advantage of Cormier wobbling around the octagon and finished him by knockout. It was an amazing card. I was looking forward to that card for months, and really good. I was really happy for John that he won.
Thank you, my son. All right. Now, go on, and don't tear down the set.
Okay.
All right. So, is he going to tear down? No, he made it. All right. All right. Well, Lad just stole most of my thunder and most of my talking points. Okay. But I got some notes over here. How we doing, Brother Jason? Where's our time at? Like, how many? Cool. All right, good. I was wondering. We're running on. I figured it'd be about an hour and 10 minutes. All right, so my takeaways from DC and Jones. First one, Brian Ortega. Here's a guy that took a year off and got better. He's a guy that was the only guy in UFC history with 3 third-round submissions or stoppages. Now he's the only one with 4. What speaks to his point is this is a young man that just got in the sport. For him to get better over the last year means he is a true, he is in the zone. Because he doesn't have that much money. When you just start in this game, you've got enough to survive. So for him to get better over the last year, that means he is focused 100% on being the best fighter in the world, and I would watch out for him. Sterling. Lad, how do you say Sterling's first name? Aljamain. Aljamain Sterling against Renan Barão. Sterling's amazing. That was an amazing fight. I think he's starting to become the fighter he can be, which is probably one of the best, if not the best in the world. Renan Barão is the example of how hard it is to become champion again. It's hard to become champion. The first time Renan Barão won something like 9 or 10 years running. He lost, and 35 consecutive fights. He's not changed as a fighter, but there is a difference between being a champ and a challenger. Robbie versus Cowboy, I didn't see anything within that fight that made me think that Robbie didn't win that fight. I loved it for Robbie. I'm a big fan of Robbie. I'm so happy that somebody grabbed the mic and said, hey, right on, Matt Hughes, keep fighting that fight. You know, Matt Hughes is fighting for his life, and let's take a second to say, go, Matt, go. You know, go, Matt, go. You fought wars in that cage for our enjoyment. Now you're fighting for your life. I understand the families want to keep it private and everything, but the reality is there's nothing wrong with us saying, go, Matt Hughes.
Absolutely.
Go, Matt Hughes. And I love Robbie winning that fight. Lad stole all my talking points on Maia and T. Wood. I agree with Lad 100%. Maia didn't do anything wrong. He won, and he advanced. He got through 2 puzzles, and now they're taking away the GSP fight, which is a good fight. I want to see GSP against Woodley.
Absolutely, it's a good fight.
So I agree 100% with Lad. I don't think Damian should be, I don't think T. Wood should be penalized for beating Damian Maia and stopping 24 takedowns. My interesting point of that fight, and Brother Sin, we watched Overeem and Verdum fight, and that decision going the way it did, I thought about this fight. I thought you could make a case for giving Maia the fight.
Yeah, absolutely, and primarily because he had the 24 takedown attempts. I mean, he was the aggressor the entire time. I absolutely thought that watching is this could go the Overeem way, where they're gonna shock the whole building and give it to Maia. I thought about that. I'm
glad it didn't, but it could have went that way. I don't think T. Wood should be penalized for winning a fight.
He won the fight. I mean, is he there to simply be an entertainer, or is he there to win the fight? And he was right when he came out afterwards and said, say what you want, Boomy, I won the fight. My job is to get in here and win fights. He won the fight.
Last but not least, and then we'll close up the show with some final thoughts and what we're going to be doing next week and how much I think the crew here that I have. DC and John Jones. I really, really love John Jones's confidence and happiness pre-fight. I didn't hear much or see much from DC. I loved DC's demeanor in the fight. I believed, but I was rooting for him. I believed DC was winning that fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I believe that the reason DC was so distraught afterwards is, as a competitor, the last thing he remembered was he was winning that fight. Like Ladd said, and I want to get to this, is it's going to take a while to do John Jones and Brock Lesnar. Run out Gustafsson against Jones. That's a fight Gustafsson can win. If Gustafsson wins that fight and DC can come back and beat him, DC beats that Swede. What's his name, Ladd? Yeah, Volkan Ozdemir. He beats him. You run those guys back. I could see DC and John Jones fighting for a third time. Brother Sin, I want to thank you.
Thank you.
Next week we're going to talk about. The triangle of success. We're going to hopefully have Randy Couture on, Scott Davenport, who's a friend of mine. We may, we call him Tong Po. We may try to get Facebook Live up for a variation of the show so we can answer some questions. It's your job now to get this out there and make it a hit. Great job today. Again, I want to thank Jason Orr with Phosphor Studios, Jesse the Body up there on audio, and Royce up there on video. Deuces, baby.